to recognize the ranking member of the full committee first for 4 minutes. Mr. Bachus from Alabama.
I thank the chairman. Chairman, I don't think there's anything that is in such sharp contrast as the administration's proposal for the Fed's role and that of the Republicans in the House. We particularly object to what we see is allowing the Fed to become a permanent bailout agency, and we believe that that is most troubling, and we believe that if that's allowed to happen, that they will sacrifice their independence, and there's absolutely impossible to make them an independent agency and allow them to function as they are, and yet give them the opportunity to guarantee or loan billions of dollars without substantially increasing their accountability and transparency. But I do thank you for holding this hearing. Whether regulatory power and sweeping new powers really should be centralized and given to the Federal Reserve at a time when our country is facing unprecedented physical, economic, and monetary policy challenges, we believe is very problematic. We have some foremost experts, Governor Cohen and our second panel, so we look forward to your testimony. During the past 2 years, we've watched as the Federal Reserve has responded to dislocations in the financial markets with far-reaching interventions in virtually every corner of our economy. To confront the crisis, the Fed's used its emergency authority to bail out failing institutions. We believe, particularly with AIG and others, that was particularly with AIG and with some of the auto companies, this was unwise. To provide loans and loan guarantees, to revive the credit markets, which I think have had some success, and lowering the target Fed funds rate almost to zero, and more than doubling its balance sheet. Regardless of how one views these extraordinary Fed actions, I think we all agree that as we go forward, we do need a more transparent institution with a more clearly defined role. Republicans believe that the Fed's core mission, and I stress this, is to conduct monetary policy, and that will be seriously undermined if its supervisory responsibilities are dramatically expanded as proposed in the Obama administration's white paper. Indeed, the proper role of the Fed represents, as I said, the critical difference between the administration's proposal, which would statutorily bless what we consider an unwise cycle of bailouts, picking winners and losers, and obligating the taxpayers from our plan, which does none of those things. The administration would reward past regulatory and monetary policy mistakes by giving the Fed the preeminent role in regulating the financial system and determining which financial institutions are too big to fail. This stretches the Fed's resources. I think we all agree on that. It complicates its ability to carry out monetary policy functions. At a time when our country faces crippling, well, let me say this, I believe if we continue to do these things, continue to have stimulus packages and deficits, we're going to have crippling inflation. And I think the Fed will have its hands full dealing with inflationary pressures without being distracted and overextended by these new powers. The Republican plan would therefore relieve the Fed of some of its current regulatory responsibilities and allow it to focus on monetary policy missions. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. But most importantly, let me close by saying we need to end the bailouts that the Fed has been instrumental, I think, in carrying out over the last 18 months. And I mean the ad hoc bailouts of individual institutions. Thank you.
The